This podcast is made possible by First Call. Let's end the addiction crisis together. The first step to a future free from addiction is to make the first call.
Good morning, this is First Call. How may I help you?
Call 816-361-5900 or go to firstcallkc.org.
Welcome back to Answering the Call, a First Call podcast. My name is Bill Brandmeier. I'm the host with my co-host, Emily, who's president and CEO of First Call. And this podcast today is we're diving into some important conversations. Sometimes they're often misunderstood. It's a space that I know for me, I'm going to learn a lot today. And the whole idea of how the justice system is built to really deter people from not getting sober, and how there's opportunities now in this new space as we kind of understand what it means to go through the system, how we can help people recover, right? Is that kind of where we're at? And Emily, I like to kind of take these, from your perspective as president and CEO, where does this come from and where does it fit into the First Call offerings? Like, how did you get exposed to the whole idea of criminal wellness?
Oh, that's a big question, just right off the bat.
Sorry.
But, we've been, First Call in the Kansas City, what was then the drug court, have been working together, marching along. I think, unfortunately, so often the way that people get resources and access to help is through involvement with the justice system. The four of us aren't going to change that or fix that, but we can make sure that it's really person-centered and high quality. And I think that's kind of what First Call and the court have been working on for 15 years now, right?
Years, yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, and I know our guests have a lot to say. But I'm going to welcome on our two guests. We have Keith Faison and John Maynie. And Keith is the Director of Organizational Development at First Call. And you said he's been with First Call from the time you've been there. Well,
I've been there longer, but...
That was a good one.
But Keith has a story to tell, and he's got a background he's going to share and some informed, knowledge that he's going to break for us. And John is a wellness court coordinator. Wellness court is something that it's a new term for me. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to have you define it.
It's new for me too.
But I kind of want to hear, where did we get? The question I asked her, where does wellness court, fit into the world we're living in, and how does it help set up opportunities for individuals who find themselves in a judicial process find help? How does it get them there? And certainly they must already be, oh shit, I'm in trouble. Where do I turn? It makes sense that we would help guide them to recovery if drugs and alcohol addiction is part of their problem. Go ahead, Keith. Why don't you, John?
Well,
okay.
I can jump in. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. I always watch podcasts, but you never think you're gonna be on one.
Yeah,
you're cool.
You're famous now.
Right. So
let's hope it.
You're right. So, but yeah, wellness court is. We've had the model already. Lined out with our specialty courts we've already had with mental health court and drug court. But the idea came about. We were talking about it one day about how some clients may be getting some lapse in services. We may not be getting them the full, experience of getting the help that they need and the support. So we, Judge Wackel, Judge Courtney Wackel.
I was going to say, who's we?
Yeah. I was jumping into that. So Judge Courtney Wackel, my supervisor, Tierney Clement, and Patrice Winston, who's the mental health court coordinator at the time. We all combined. We all had meetings left and right.
And I'm guessing it's municipal court, right?
Municipal court, yeah.
Okay.
Kansas City Municipal Court,
okay.
yes. No, it's okay. We all got together. We talked about it. It was almost, I feel like we started talking about it in October of last year.
Okay.
And we really got the ball rolling and started in January of this year. So it's a lot. It still was a lot. But we essentially combined the courts, combined mental health court and drug court, because a lot of the times Patrice and I would, for lack of a better term, we'd be playing hot potato between participants.
Mm-hmm.
So we
You're
didn't
flipping
know.
a coin to see which is the more appropriate court.
Yeah, it was like we didn't know. Sometimes they'd go in as mental health primary, and then we'd say, okay, hey, they're using substances while they're in mental health court, and they'd come to me, but then they have to start the program or process all over with assessments. And so
this is fascinating. I'm a systems guy, and people are always you're looking at systems. Oh, that's a broken system. Oh, there's disparity there. That's injustice. It's pretty chaotic.
Yeah, it was. It was really chaotic. It's still chaotic. So, but yeah, just helping navigate that. We just, we took it to where now everybody's in the same room. Providers and, First Call, I would say Rediscover and University House. Well, everybody's just
Welcome House, things like that.
We, I don't know if is Welcome House.
No,
I don't know if they are.
Just wondered.
They're
a halfway house.
Yeah. I'm familiar with Welcome House. We don't have a representative there yet.
But it's a coalition.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I love coalitions.
Oh, yeah.
Collective impact. Okay.
And I think me and John especially, because right after the assessments, I go talk to John. And so I would say in the last 2 years, if not 2.5 years, what we began to always come to the table with is co-caring is here. It's not just this person has a drug and alcohol problem or this person has mental health. They were coming combined.
Yeah.
Co-occurring was not going away.
Co-occurring.
Co-occurring. Got it.
Co-occurring,
Okay.
Which means that you have both alcohol, drug, and mental health.
Yeah.
Got
And
it.
it was not going away.
No.
And so
that's all of us, right? I'm
Well,
co-occurring.
and do you think something that during the pandemic we were talking about was we were kind of, we felt like as a service delivery system, we were all kind of sitting ducks of like, dang, like everyone's just at home, like sick people are getting sicker. Right. And we kind of knew that was happening. And then all of a sudden, I feel like since 2021, it really has been exactly what we thought. People are sicker.
Yes.
Their mental health, their addictions are more acute.
Yes.
And that's been a big challenge in the court.
Yes,
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the conversation John and I had for months.
Yes.
Like, hey, man, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Right.
Instead of sending them to a different court, you may have a guy that's somewhat stable but needs this medication. And we can't do anything until that person gets stable in the jail if we can get somebody there to give an eval. And so that's why systems needed to be created.
It reminds me of what the healthcare system has done, where they bring all the different, doctors' expertise into a room and they all talk about the patient's holistic.
Yeah, multidisciplinary team, right?
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's new.
It's new, very new.
And it seems to be working.
Yeah, I believe it is. We're meeting folks where they're at.
Right.
They come in the program, and it's just, it's holistic. We want to make sure that they not only are getting help with their substance use or mental health, but we want to make sure that they get help with employment or any wraparound services we can really help with. It's been, we've had community partners or community folks from the community come in and give presentations. Recently, we had we'll probably go into it, but we had an electives week where folks would come in and give presentations on what different things that they can participate in the city. It could be, community centers, going to physical fitness and yoga, all that whole nine.
Sure.
It's a lot. So they seemed really engaged and liked it, job
Oh my gosh,
training.
there's things I can do
Yeah.
to make myself better.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, I can't, you can only imagine that they're hungry for something to hold on to, something to get them moving forward instead of backwards, right? Because if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards.
I have a question. So, Keith, something we've talked about, and I think that's kind of different for the way that, again, you start engaging with a client versus someone of their complete own volition calling the crisis call line at First Call and saying, I'm ready to get some help. Like, that's not the experience typically that y'all have with a person. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that is fair.
So how do you manage that? How do you start to plant those seeds of motivation? I know we've had this conversation so much at First Call.
I think, so John and the court, they do a very good job at screening the folks out. And so John sets my schedule, and I go in and do an eval, which is a comprehensive biopsychosocial evaluation.
And that's your training? That's your background?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And so John hears me a lot. Okay, the client, I don't know about this client. Well, this client was motivated. And so when we meet, I try to get them hooked on. You have a team out there waiting for you. You have a team of folks waiting for you. And if I can get them hooked on that, and get them to understand that there's help. Yeah. When I show up, there's help. And so I emphasize that. I'm the help you've been waiting for. And so it gets echoed through the jail. Okay, you're going to see Mr. Faison. That's what they call me.
It's like you're an interventionist.
Correct.
You're basically doing an intervention on these
Correct.
guys.
Correct.
And you can tell if they're ready or not.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
And John and Keith have worked. You both are very good readers of people.
Yeah.
And it seems like
You'd have to be.
there's a lot of that in both of your jobs.
Yeah. So that's the partnership between First Call and this wellness justice system. Have you modeled it after other communities, other municipalities, other cities that have done similar things? And is there benchmarks of success or what you're trying to get the families back together, reunification, recidivism? Are you keeping data and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, keeping data. Of course, we and yeah, there are models out there. We've Google searched and found a lot of models, court models across the nation.
Right.
We just got back from the RISE conference actually in Orlando, Florida this year, which it was refreshing to hear that we're not the only court going through obstacles. There's a lot of obstacles.
Right.
So and it's pretty cool, just being all together. But yeah, we've modeled. I can't remember the court that we actually looked at, but they had the same almost curriculum based on what we're trying to do. And yeah,
Talk a little bit about what would keep you up at night, or what is it funded? Is it? Keith's laughing.
Well,
is it? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
ask Keith.
Can people pay attention to it, or do we need Toriana Porter to write a story about it? What do we got? What's happening?
Well, right now it is funded. I mean, we have the SAMHSA grant, federal money coming in.
Mm-hmm.
That we know of. So
Yeah.
so far, so good. I haven't heard anything, but
Come on.
yeah, exactly.
Let's do the good things.
Exactly. So
Let's
we're
not
just,
take money away from the good things.
Right. Yeah, it's done so many things. So over the years, we've had this grant since 2015.
People don't think that it's a woke program or
Right,
something, do they?
No, I don't.
No.
No.
But I think, unfortunately, we are at this weird moment where we're all watching and waiting because the criminal justice and treatment court programs have been such a core part of SAMHSA, which is part of the Department of Health and Human Services, for so many years. And now the new administration wants to get rid of all of those programs.
Right.
So, but the other benefit that I think federal funding has had is, to your point about what are we measuring, like there's tons of data about the impact and the benefits. So we don't have to guess.
No. Yeah. 2024 American University study found that wellness court graduates 27% lower recidivism and has 2 years, in over 2 years, has 30% higher employment rate than the control group. So not only are they not continuing to be career, criminals, but they're also getting jobs. Come on.
Yeah, like what's your gold star? I mean, you work with people with long-term addiction, mental health disorders. If you could paint the picture of the ideal when someone's graduating drug court.
Oh, the ideal client that would graduate drug court. I mean, that would be employment. One that I know in particular, I don't want to say any names, but they've
Probably thinking about the same person.
Yeah, we're definitely thinking about the same person.
They change his name. What was it?
Yeah,
Let's call him Steve.
You're right. Yeah, but they went in, got peer support, specialist training, and they're wanting to get in the field of helping the same, doing the same things.
Right.
They got in.
That's what it's all about.
So that's one of the ideal clients, I would say.
She had really severe mental health.
Yeah.
We saw her at her worst a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
And when she would peak, she would get in sobriety and she would peak. And I would tell John, I'm like, okay, this is her second time in. Let's leave her alone. let's let her find her way as far as volunteering or helping other people.
Mm-hmm.
Because what she would do is she'd help too many people. The old, AA slogan is, you can't keep it until you give it away. She give it all away.
Yeah.
And so
We know
she
that rule.
got
Yeah.
a sponsor. She got involved. This is before she left drug court.
Sure.
And so now she is a peer support.
This is since
Support,
January. So, I mean, this didn't take long. The light bulb went on for her.
Yeah, and then she's been in and out. That's
Sure.
been one of the things.
But
She's
she
been
didn't
in and
have
out, yeah.
this sense of community, this sense of support you guys put around her. And
Yeah.
all
And
of a
she's
sudden
been on
she
me
was.
too. She's about starting an alumni program
Yeah.
as well.
Well, there you
so,
go. Well,
yeah.
that's cool.
Oh yeah.
Keith, I think I want to talk a little bit about your career with First Call, because part of this is to let people know what a special organization it is, and you haven't stuck around for no reason, right?
That's right. That's right.
Talk a little bit about your career with First Call and your desire to continue to build this organization up, because how critical it is and what it means to you to end the addiction crisis.
Okay. So Emily knows my story in that I got involved with First Call, and they hired me contract for 2 years. And I was doing off-site at the Jackson County Jail.
Okay.
And I'm also in recovery.
Excellent.
So I've been sober 38 years. And so to me, you put me right back in an environment that I'd already experienced. And I excel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is like being home. There was no micromanaging. The people were sincere, and so I just said to myself, I'd like to stay here. I don't know, since I made the decision to, they hired me, of course, but they've helped me along the way.
So you were providing a contract service where you were a liaison between First Call and the not a penitentiary, the jail.
Yeah,
We were running
Jackson County Jail.
groups
Yeah,
You were running groups.
yeah, and we were doing drug court groups in Jackson County Jail.
Okay.
And
So you were already doing some of this.
Yeah.
But it wasn't official because the judicial part of it wasn't part of it.
Yeah, so I was doing two types of groups.
Okay.
But
Okay. All right.
confused that.
No.
So I don't know. My passion has grown to wanting to perfect my craft, to make an impact. I think I've made an impact on the clients, and especially that first initial session. I want them to know that you're looking at a miracle. I want them to know that, there's help available. I want them to know, take this opportunity. This is for real. I've been fortunate to get people to open up. I just got a gift. I guess that's one of my superpowers.
Yeah.
Is to get people open up at a rapid pace. What First Call has enabled me to do is, as I begin to grow and they begin to see more growth in me, I just thought I'd be a counselor. And they go, hey, you want to do training? Yeah, no, not yet. Hey, you want to do training? No, not yet. It's time to do training. Okay.
Okay.
Start doing trainings. I like that.
God might be calling me.
And exactly. And then I began to, other people began to come to me and say, hey, I like your opinion on this. I go, sure. Come in, look at your group. Yeah. And so that's kind of how everything has evolved for me.
Yeah.
Just staying available.
Sure.
And staying supportive, because that's what the team has always done for me. So
Have you lived this sense that First Call people don't know about it? This idea that there's people out in the Kansas City metro that need to know more about what First Call is all about?
sure. I think they do need to know more about what we do and how we do it,
Yeah, for sure.
how we care about people.
Well, you're definitely helping do that,
Yeah.
so thank you.
Yeah.
Johnny, can I call you Johnny?
Yeah, that's cool. That's definitely
We're all
cool.
family
Right,
here now.
yeah.
Is law your life? Did you go to law school? Is it? Are you? What's your background, and how'd you get to where you're at?
Law is definitely not my life. I thought about it, but
Still time.
Yeah, it's still time. Still time. But back in my undergrad, I went to Jackson State University,
Okay.
Mississippi, and I was doing computer science at the time, but it just didn't feel fulfilling for me. And I was really thinking about job security at the time and looking at a lot of the things. But it evolved into really wanting to help people. And, I got my undergrad in criminal justice and correctional services.
Okay.
And then I started working with the state of Missouri. So I worked for the Children's Division, and I was almost like a liaison between the Children's Division and Family Drug Court, Jackson County Family Drug Court. And that's, with me, kind of foreshadowing, with me being the coordinator of Drug Court, now Wellness Court, I took a lot of the things I learned from the Family Drug Court with Commissioner Merrigan and at the time Commissioner Peterson, who's now a judge at Municipal Court. I took a lot of that and put it into what we have at Kansas City Municipal Court too. So, but it's just been, over the years I've worked with Children's Division and Family Centered Services, and then I moved to be a Wellness Court coordinator, or Drug Court coordinator with the Municipal Court. So it's been. And
you've done your research, and this thing is blossoming. You feel like you're making an impact.
Oh yeah. I feel like it's a great thing. It's a lot more to come, a lot more things to come to.
Emily, when you think about what the role First Call has had with the court system, adding this wellness court component, this more whole, like you said, multidisciplinary approach, does it add more meat to the bone? Does it make it more substantial of what First Call, or is it just a better way of doing what you were already doing?
I think it's simplifying in some ways what's been a really difficult dynamic for the team that's trying to wrap around these clients who have a complex set of needs. I think that's been really hard to know. I mean, because it really indicates like what's a appropriate housing solution, like how can this person engage in groups? Like we're really, the severity of a person's addiction or mental health will dictate everything. And I mean, Keith and I had frustration for years. I know John too. So some of this is semantics around like the drug court existed and the mental health court existed, and now they're just combined. Right. But it to me, it feels like such a cool example of like the fact that the staff and the partners and the judge were all willing to just acknowledge like, hey, we can probably do this better, and let's try. So that's my feeling about it, is that not every system I think would be willing, because it's hard, right?
Definitely hard, definitely. A lot of obstacles.
What more needs to happen? Does corporate America or businesses in Kansas City need to get involved? Are there components that you wish you had more access to? Job placement, mentors. Is there more to it that you think could happen, or are you guys just wait and see? We're good.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think it's the wait and see period where we continue to grow each time, or learn new things. Mm-hmm. The community resources are always going to be there. We can always, Judge Walker does a really good job of outreach and trying to bring them in and show, that, hey, this is what we're doing. And we also have the Friends of Specialty Court, who is a non-for-profit organization who's going to help out with the different specialty courts with Kansas City Municipal Court, trying to, as far as funding and getting those type of resources. But it's just, I think the major obstacle right now is just, efficiency, just trying to make it the most efficient thing.
Are there the mayor or councilmen or people watching what you're doing, thinking, okay, let's see how this works? Or
yes. Yeah, I believe so. And that's Judge Walker too. She'll bring them in the room, be at graduations. Yes. And they're there. They see it, they hear it. And it's just, we're just trying to be a little louder, trying to show them that.
And we have a judge that is totally on board. I mean, her buy-in, her energy, her excitement about this program.
Shout out to Judge Wackel. Yes. I love it. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's interesting. I feel like the fact that, and because we haven't even talked about the women's court, but the specialty courts in Kansas City continue to evolve to be more efficient, effective. Yeah. And something that I've been thinking about is, there was a big public vote about funding the public safety tax. Now we're going to build a new jail. And from where I sit, I'm like, that's all fine. Like, that's over here. But I don't know how y'all are going to build a new jail if you're not going to continue to invest in these really high quality diversionary programs to keep people out, right?
That's true. Yeah,
Right.
definitely true.
Correct.
So, Keith, when you think about your role as a peer support and engaging with these men, what does your lived experience do in helping you succeed?
I think I'm not shy about letting someone know before I leave them in the assessment. If you want to see a miracle, here I am.
Yeah, you said that. That's
And
so
I
cool.
say that in a very humble way. I think that people who are incarcerated need to have something they can see to reach for. And that's so important. And, every now and then I'll share a bit of my story to keep them moving, keep that motivation going. They'll open up a little bit more. And so I always give them this, help me help you. That's my slogan, help me help you.
Right.
Don't hold anything back. Don't try to impress me.
Sure.
Help me help you.
Yeah, they're lucky.
So
I think it might be, I'd love to hear, John, what is the commitment to wellness court that someone makes? So, you guys do a screening, there's an assessment to see if it's appropriate, but can you help us understand, how does someone find themselves in front of you?
Oh yeah. So of course they have to have Kansas City Municipal charges. That's one of the. We wish we could help everybody who comes into the building, but it's completely voluntary. They are in a predicament. Sometimes they have been revoked from probation, regular intensive court supervised probation, and they get screened, and that's where they get on our radar as far as where are we missing the cue, where are we missing how to help this person, so we screen and assess them through first call.
we communicate. I think, we communicate all the time. I think everybody's on board. Even when somebody come out of custody, before they see me, I ask the custody officers, how are they? Mm-hmm. How are they?
Yeah.
And so everybody's on board.
But it's just essentially they get on our radar and they go through the commitment is a lot.
And they sign a contract.
They sign a contract.
Yeah.
It's a big commitment. Once you get in, it's not just court supervised probation showing up. There's engagement. You have to invest in the program. So
How many individuals can you guys handle?
that's a great question. I don't know right now because it feels like we have a lot, and I feel like we can handle as many as
come your way.
Yeah.
How many do you think are in the program now?
I would say close to a little over 50.
50
right now.
people.
Yeah.
50 individuals.
Yeah, including mental health court.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're trying, and we're getting a lot of referrals weekly. They're flowing in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and they're interested. They love it. They love the opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, I've really enjoyed the time with you guys. I think it's amazing. I think we need to revisit the conversation, 6 months, 12 months, let's keep getting updates on how it's going. Would additional judges get involved and you'd have more, more review, more Johns and more Keiths? And
That could be the case. That could be, as we get bigger, that could be an adjustment we may need to make.
Yeah.
But for right now, I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah. Well, good. Oh, well, I just think that people need to know that, we don't punish people for getting into the healing process, right? We want to walk with them through it.
Correct.
And every time that we answer the call with empathy and instead of judgment, we get closer to ending this crisis, right?
Yeah.
And making them well.
Yeah, that's great. Well,
And it feels like another good example. One of our proudest examples at First Call of we're so proud of this partnership. And First Call, we kind of say we don't really work without all of the other people doing the hard work too. And so to me, this is just one of our shiny examples of how we can all work together and make things efficient, but also caring, right?
Awesome partnership over the years.
thank you guys so much. Part of answering the call is always to say, that First Call has a crisis hotline. We want people to know that if they need help, they just go 816-361-5900. That's 816-361-5900, and here to help. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
brother.
you.